noon of 1764 at Cumberland Lodge, Windsor, Great Lake, England. In the darkness, a foal to be named Eclipse was born. Eclipse became an undefeated racehorse and a great sire in the 18th century. Even now, over 90% of all thoroughbreds currently racing in North America are descended from Eclipse. Since 1971, this bronze statuette of Eclipse has symbolized the best of the sport of kings, the highest honor in thoroughbred racing. Tonight, we honor the best of 1988 and look back at the year just past as Budweiser Racing Across America presents the Eclipse Awards Special. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged with that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, relive the legend. By Keeneland, source of the classic horse. And by Three Chimneys, the idea is excellent.
For the pride, for the dream, for the love, and for the team, for the will that comes from the heart, for the skill that sets you apart, for the sweat and for the drive, for the reason you strive for all you do. This was for you, for the hope and for the pride, for that fire inside.
For all you do, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
At Wimbledon Farm, our breeding shows with relaunch. In the top 5 of 1988 leading sires with 75% winners and average earnings over $86,000 per starter. Grade 1 winner Roquoit is one of over 23 stakes winners from 5 crops for relaunch at Wimbledon Farm.
It's our 50th anniversary, celebrating over $2 billion in winning bets. In 50 days, twice the winning bets of the dog, 5 times more winning bets than Highlight. Gulfstream, the pick of the pari-mutuels. Saturday, it's the Canadian Turf Handicap. And on Sunday, the Gulfstream Sprint Championship. Be there this weekend at Gulfstream.
Like a new day, it begins with a hope for greatness, a chance to fulfill a dream.
Wheel leads to the wire.
To join other champions.
Ruffian, in front, fight 2.
Giving us the excitement only a thoroughbred race can bring.
Secretariat is moving like a tremendous machine.
Soon their time will come, for they are the promise of tomorrow. Claiborne Farm.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you to the Century Plaza Hotel, Los Angeles. And this is the night at Thoroughbred Racing hands out the crowns in the sport of kings. This is the Eclipse Award dinner, and they've turned the main ballroom here at the Century Plaza into the Eclipse Cinema. After all, we are close to Hollywood. We're honoring the best of the sport of kings, and we're going to take a look back at what made these horses and these people champions of the year 1988. Working with us are our colleagues Bruce Casella and Tom Dawson. We'll start with Bruce Casella now as we get to meet some of these special Eclipse Award winners.
Chris, we begin this exciting evening with the only 2 non-voting awards, the Award of Merit and the Special Eclipse. Now, these 2 presentations are a rarity, as only 9 have been given in the history of the Eclipse Awards. Here are your winners. The Award of Merit was presented to the official host of the Eclipse dinner since 1977, the well-known television actor John Forsythe. Mr. Forsythe also owns and races thoroughbreds. He's been one of the sport's most visible supporters. And the Special Eclipse Award goes to Edward J. DeBartolo. The DeBartolo Corporation has more invested in thoroughbred racing than anyone in the sport, owning Thistle Down near Cleveland, Ohio, Louisiana Downs in Bossier City, Louisiana, and racing's newest showplace, the $94 million Remington Park in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Special Eclipse Award honors Edward J. DeBartolo for his bold and innovative leadership in thoroughbred racing.
Today's an exciting day for our family. Eddie Jr. with the 49ers, Montana and Rice are guests of the president today in Washington, and I'm here today to get this distinctive award. And I'm here to tell you that our family has had faith in racing for over 30 years. We will continue to have great faith in racing. We have some more pleasant surprises to produce for racing, and we're going to continue our efforts to make it the greatest sport ever. Thank you very much.
Great. Now let's go to Tom Dawson for a look at some other top Eclipse Award winners. Tom?
Well, Bruce, the media who cover thoroughbred racing are also eligible for Eclipse Awards in 6 different categories, and those winners were also announced here this evening. The 1988 Eclipse Award for magazine writing went to Jenny Reeves, turf writer for the Louisville Courier-Journal, for her behind-the-scenes look at the Wayne Lukas training operation. Billy Reed, sports columnist for the Lexington Herald-Leader, won his second Eclipse for newspaper writing with his story on winning colors preparation for the Kentucky Derby. Ben Van Hook, a staff photographer for the Louisville Courier-Journal, won the Photography Award for his startling image of the Breeders' Cup Classic finish.
The horses were through this documentary.
An inside look at jockeys and trainers was the theme of Stretch Drive, produced by Joseph Kwong, the winner for local television achievement. In radio, John Asher of Louisville, Kentucky, took the honors for his Breeders' Cup Day documentary, The Cup Comes Home. And Thoroughbred Sports is proud to be the recipient of the Eclipse Award for National Television Achievement for the Budweiser Racing Across America series on ESPN. Company President Jim Wilburn accepted the honor. And we'll have more awards for horses, horsemen, and rider later on in the evening. But first, let's take a look back at 1988 in thoroughbred racing, a great year by any standards. And special thanks to ABC and NBC for some of the outstanding racing footage you're about to see. So let's join Chris Lincoln for the year in review.
The year 1988 in thoroughbred racing again produced another wide range of emotions. Dramatic stretch drives and thrilling victories. Triumphs and tragedy. It was a year for a new king, as Ali Sheba became thoroughbred racing's all-time leading money earner. It was the year of the Queen, the perfect personal ensign, the first thoroughbred to retire undefeated in major racing competition in 80 years. And another filly, Winning Colors, became just the third of her sex to win America's most famous race, the Kentucky Derby. We flash back to memories of past greatness as Secretariat's son, Risen Star, looked like his daddy in winning the Belmont Stakes. The exceptional 3-year-old crop was highlighted by memorable duels between 49er and Seeking the Gold. Grass racing continued to gain in popularity, led by turf stars like Sunshine Forever and Great Communicator. On the human side of this equine sport, trainer D. Wayne Lukas continued to raise his own standards with yet another record year, earnings of $17,845,352, including 81 stakes victories, highlighted by the stable's first Kentucky Derby win and victories in 3 of 7 Breeders' Cup Day races. Jockeys Jose Santos and Chris McCarran staged a furious year-long battle for the top spot in the rider money standings, both smashing Lafitte Pincay's single-season earnings record of $13.4 million. The year saw racing's sweetheart, Julie Crone, become the winningest female rider of all time as she repeated her riding titles at Monmouth Park and the Meadowlands. And 1988 marked the return of the private stable in American racing as Ogden Phipps' operation produced 34 wins from just 86 starts with 2 champions. The $94 million Edward J. DeBartolo track in Oklahoma City, Remington Park, became the Sportive King's newest palace and introduced the revolutionary all-weather racing surface, Equitrack. 1988 also saw the first real use of the new aerodynamic racing silks to help cut down on wind resistance. A record number of thoroughbreds, 5, earned over $2 million at the races, including 2 turf specialists, Great Communicator and Sunshine Forever, 2 3-year-olds, 49er, and Seeking the Gold, and 1 older horse, Ali Sheba, topping the money list with over $3.8 million. Ali Sheba's first big test of 1988 came on March 6th in the $1 million Santa Anita Handicap in the much-awaited rematch with the 1987 Horse of the Year, Ferdinand.
Ali Sheba and Chris McCarron past the quarter pole in front in the big cap. Ferdinand coming after him. Super Diamond and Judge Angelucci now drop back. They come for home. Ali Sheba, Ferdinand on the outside. Judge Angelucci, Super Diamond at the 8th pole. Ferdinand and Ali Sheba. What a race this is. Just what the fans wanted. Ferdinand and Ali Sheba. Ali Sheba's holding on at the rail. Ali Sheba and Chris McCarron win the big cap by about a neck at the end. Ferdinand, as game as ever, was second. 3 back to Super Diamond in third.
Across the country on that first weekend in March was the first major test for the 3-year-old classic hopefuls, the Florida Derby at Gulfstream Park.
49er at the rail, trained by Woody Stevens. Eddie Maple aboard, asking for more. But out in the middle of the track, here comes Brian's Time, roaring up to contention. Brian's Time with a late burst of speed. Randy Romero aboard. Here they come to the wire. It's going to be one of these two. Brian's Time on the outside. 49er at the rail. Wow, what a finish in the Florida Derby.
Brian's Time paid $67.60 for the win. It gave jockey Randy Romero a record 4 stakes wins in one day. Other 3-year-olds that showed early promise, the Maryland Colt Private Terms, winning the Tessio Stakes at Pimlico on March 12th. And the next day at the fairgrounds down in New Orleans, a son of Secretariat rallied from the back of the field to win the Louisiana Derby. His name, Risen Star. The winter racing season was also marked by a duel between female jockeys, Patty Cooksey in Kentucky and Julie Crone riding in New Jersey and New York for the title of the winningest woman rider of all time. Patty Cooksey broke Patty Barton's record first, winning her 1,203rd race on Sunday, February 28th at Turfway Park. 1 week later, on March 6th, Julie Crone took her title away, winning number 1,205 at Aqueduct.
This is kind of just on its way to bigger accomplishments. That's the way I look at it. And I just hope that the best is still yet to come.
Thoroughbred racing in the springtime is coming up next.
From Hollywood to Broadway, This Week in Black Entertainment brings you the glamorous life. Come on and live the glamorous life. Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern on This Week in Black Entertainment.
Look. Listen.
Americans return to space in 5 days.
Feel. Is yours, and the time is now. HBO, Cinemax, and the power of cable.
It's a 99-cent special. Call Birmingham or Bessemer Cable today.
For the pride, for the dream, for the love, and for the team, for the will that comes from the heart, for the skill that sets you apart, for the sweat and for the drive, for the reason you strive for all you do. This was for you, for the hope and for the pride, for that fire, the fire inside.
For all you do, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
This was for you.
It's time to play ball. Highly ranked Arizona State battles Florida State in the premiere of Sunday Night College Baseball at 8 Eastern live on ESPN.
April, the beginning of spring, a month away from the start of the Triple Crown. The classic picture was not made any clearer in the mud at Turfway Park for the Jim Beam Stakes in a spectacular photo finish with just half a length separating the first 4 horses, with King Post getting ahead in front at the wire. The next weekend, there were coast-to-coast Derby preps, with Private Terms remaining undefeated, winning the Wood in New York. While in California, 8 colts went up against one big roan filly named Winning Colors.
But as they turn for home, it's the filly, it's Winning Colors, drawing off now to lead it by some 6 lengths in the Santa Anita Derby. Mi Preferido is second, Lively One on the outside takes up the chase. Tejano is next, and down the stretch they come. And it's the filly, Winning Colors, in front by 8.
The next week at Keeneland, Risen Star stamped himself as a serious Triple Crown contender by beating champion 49er in the Lexington Stakes. On the 3rd weekend of April, though, the older horses grabbed some of the headlines from the 3-year-olds, starting in Arkansas with Lost Code in the Oaklawn Handicap.
3/16 to go, and Lost Code, who's led every step of the way, has the lead. Here comes Gulch, here comes Crypto Clearance, and down the stretch they come. Lost Code draws away from him. He's in front by 2, but here comes Crypto Clearance, trying to close the gap in the desperate final strides. It's Lost Code, holding on, winning it by 3 parts of a length. Crypto Clearance, in a big effort, comes on to finish second. It's 5 lengths farther back to Gulch.
The next day in California, Ali Sheba and Ferdinand resume their rivalry in the San Bernardino. Chris McCarron replays the stretch drive on Ali Sheba.
Up there about the 8th hole, Ferdinand started to get a little bit in front of us, and I started getting a little anxious, and I reached back and hit Ali Sheba one time left-handed, and he really responded well, and the rest of the way I just shook the stick at him, and it was a hell of a horse race from that point on.
April came to a close with Granacus, a 15-to-1 long shot, winning the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland. And at the Derby trial at Churchill Downs, the Saturday before the Kentucky Derby, 4 horses finished together on the wire. But the photo showed the winning nose belonged to Texan Jim Cottrell's Jim's Orbit. Now, after 4 months, the hundreds of Derby hopefuls have been reduced to 16 colts and 1 filly for the 114th Run for the Roses on the first Saturday in May at Churchill Downs. Dave Johnson has the call for ABC.
She's led from the start, every pole a winning one, and it's Winning Colors showing the way as they straighten away in the lane. Winning Colors doing it just like D-Wayne Lucas said she would, taking command and drawing off. Now she's in front by 3. Proper Reality is second. Here comes 49er, 2-year-old champ from last year, putting in a bid on the outside, and down the stretch they come. Winning Colors in front. Here comes 49er on the outside. Lucas and Stevens. It's a driving finish. Winning Colors by a head.
Winning Colors became just the 3rd filly in history to win the Kentucky Derby. Her victory also snapped leading trainer D-Wayne Lucas's 0 for 12 string in the race. Afterwards, he talked about his feelings in finally winning America's most famous race.
It's a special feeling, but I didn't dedicate it to anybody. I thought on the way walking over here in the couple days before the race that thinking of where we started at Park Jefferson, South Dakota, and running for $350 pots, and I thought if it happens to me, maybe it'll give some hope to some of these other guys that are out there and struggling with a couple of horses and hoping to get to this spot. I think that if anybody's in the game, they'll want to be here.
May 14th marked the return of the Pimlico Special to Maryland for the first time in 30 years. The race attracted 5 thoroughbred millionaires, headlined by Ali Sheba, Bet Twice, Lost Code, and Crypto Clearance.
5 lengths separate the field as they come to the top of the stretch. Lost Code in front. Along the inside, here comes Bet Twice. Bet Twice with Craig Perrott cuts the corner and takes command. Bet Twice in front. On the outside, Lost Code. Crypto Clearance is flying, and down the stretch they come. Bet Twice toward the inside. Lost Code on the outside. They're stride for stride, head to head. Now on the inside, Bet Twice with a short lead. Lost Code second, Crypto Clearance third. Bet Twice wins it.
The next afternoon in New York, Personal Ensign, the undefeated filly, passed her first test at 4, winning the Shuby. The 3rd Saturday in May at Old Hilltop, Pimlico Racecourse, Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Preakness, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown.
The top 2 have had it their own way as they go to the far turn. On the inside, 49er on the outside, the filly, Winning Colors. Those two stride for stride. Risen Star right there in third, looking for racing room, and now finding it at the rail. Risen Star with a quick burst of speed up to take command. It's Risen Star on the inside, leading it by a head. Winning Colors on the outside second. 49er between them third. Three of them across the track as they move into the final quarter mile. Risen Star has the lead. Winning Colors on the outside tries to close the gap. 49er dropping back, and down the stretch they come. Risen Star with Eddie Delahousie shows the way by a length and a half. On the inside, it's the filly. On the outside, Brian's Time is coming on. A 16th of a mile to go. Risen Star away from the rail. Brian's Time with Cordero trying to close the gap. Winning Colors third. Risen Star wins the Preakness by a length.
Almost as soon as the race was over, the attention shifted from the winner, Risen Star, to the Woody and Wayne controversy. Had the Woody Stevens trained 49er run his race just to eliminate Lucas's Winning Colors? Here's another look at some of the bumping that took place in the controversial Preakness with the comments of D. Wayne Lucas.
I think a combination of things. I don't think the pace of the race was that demanding or maybe dead or in, but I think given the fact that there was a certain amount of contact between 49er and her around the turns, and that she was ridden hard. By that I mean it was not a freely run race as far as those two horses were concerned.
Woody did what he said he was going to do. He did push the filly. He did go out front.
And I said earlier that if anybody in the race makes those concessions in their racing style or tries to do something that their horse is probably not totally capable of doing, that you're going to give up something. And I rest my case. She was third, and I think he was seventh.
As May ended, the Phipps Stable star 3-year-old seeking the goal won the Peter Pan. And on Memorial Day, it was Gulch winning his second straight Metropolitan Handicap. When we return, we'll look at the Belmont and some top summer stakes races.
Here it comes, the slammin', jammin', rip-roaring good time video, the NBA's dazzling dunks and basketball bloopers. It's all new fun and excitement, and the only way to get it is free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. See your heroes fly through the air with the greatest of ease and land just about anywhere they please. See them jump and jam, slip, slide, and slam. See them dance and dive as they try to keep it alive. For 45 minutes of all the right stuff, they'll give it a whirl and give it a heave. And if you hang around long enough, you'll see things you won't believe. Of course, sometimes they miss, and often they fall. But we'll let you be the judge of who's the greatest of all. You'll get lots of laughs and quite a bit more as all your favorites take the floor. Believe me, you can look high and low, but you won't find a more fantastic show. So call this toll-free number now to get the sensational video that reaches new heights in entertainment. The NBA's dazzling dunks and basketball bloopers, free from Sports Illustrated. And by calling now, not only will you get all the thrills and spills of your free video, you won't miss out on the exciting 25th anniversary edition of the famous swimsuit issue, featuring a bright and sunny look at the smiles and suits of the past 25 years in an issue devoted entirely to swimwear. Then the Boys of Summer swing along in SI's big baseball preview issue. You'll get all that and save almost 50% off the cover price. 25 issues payable in 3 monthly installments of only $9.89 each. And you can charge it if you want. Take advantage of the savings. Don't let anyone get the jump on you. Get it all first. The NBA's dazzling dunks and basketball bloopers, the anniversary edition of the swimsuit issue, the big baseball preview, and enjoy all the great color and excitement of Sports Illustrated every week by calling this toll-free number now. 1-800-541-8700. 1-800-541-8700. The video is rated F for free.
The second Saturday in June, the day of the final leg of racing's Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. A $1 million bonus was on the line for Derby winner Winning Colors and Preakness winner Risen Star. It was no contest.
But past the 8th pole, Risen Star drawing away. He looks like his daddy at this point. Risen Star in front, and down the stretch they come. Risen Star drawing off. He's in front by 15, by 18. Risen Star takes the Belmont.
Risen Star's rider, Eddie Delahousse.
I moved to the filly about the three-quarter pole, and he was going very kind and easy, and I could see the filly struggling, so I was very confident then, and I waited till actually he straightened up in the stretch to call on him, just to chirp to him, and showed him the stick, and he really excelled.
The time of 2:26.2 for the mile and a half was second fastest only to Risen Star's sire, Secretariat. Two gala events marked the month of June in thoroughbred racing. From June 4th through 12th, the New York Racing Association introduced the Belmont Horse Fair 88, inviting fans to come see a variety of breeds of horses perform at Belmont Park. And on the night of June 10th at Hollywood Park, the stars were out to celebrate Hollywood Park's golden anniversary, 50 years of great racing memories. On June 18th, the three-year-olds started the second half of their season, with Texas-bred Jim's Orbit winning the 54th running of the Ohio Derby. June 25th saw Lost Code in New England to win the Massachusetts Handicap, beating such top older horses as Wacoit, Crypto Clearance, and A Fleet. On June 26th at Hollywood Park, the 6-year-old Cutlass Reality rolled to a stunning 6.5-length victory over Ali Shiva and 12 lengths in front of Ferdinand in winning the 49th Hollywood Gold Cup. Into July, and the fireworks over the holiday weekend in New York were provided by Goodbye Halo, winning 2/3 of the New York Filly Triple Crown, taking the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. The rest of the holiday weekend belonged to the Phipps stable, Seeking the Goal winning the Dwyer Stakes on July 2nd. Then the Suburban Handicap with Personal Flag on July 4th. And on that same afternoon, down on the Jersey Shore at Monmouth Park, Phipps's Perfect Filly Personal Ensign made it 9 for 9, winning the Molly Pitcher Handicap. The Phipps stable, conditioned by 37-year-old trainer Shug McGahee, burning up the summer racing program. The attention of the racing world shifted from the present to the future in mid-July at the Keeneland Sales in Kentucky, with 266 thoroughbred yearlings selling in the select session for over $97.8 million. Back on the track, Lost Code kept traveling and kept winning, this time in Detroit for the Michigan Mile. The win, Cody's 6 in 7 starts, including 5 graded stakes, as he went over the $2 million mark in career earnings. On the same day in New York, the 8-year-old gelding King Swan upset Gulch in the Tom Fool Stakes at Belmont. And out west, Cutlass Reality went over the $1 million mark with his 4th consecutive win, this one in the Bel Air Handicap. As July came to an end, the big gray racing star of New England, Wacoit, won his 2nd straight Brooklyn Handicap, beating veterans Personal Flag and Creme Fraiche. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, a new star was emerging. The 2-year-old King Glorious made it 3 for 3, winning the Hollywood Juvenile. July 23rd marked the running of the first match race in the United States since 1981. It took place at Exarban Racecourse in Omaha, Nebraska, as the 5-year-old gelding Who Doctor Who pulled away in the stretch to beat the 4-year-old filly Explosive Girl in a $50,000 match race. July was also the month that saw the end of 2 great racing careers and the passing of a racing legend. Risen Star, the Preakness and Belmont winner, was officially retired to Walmack Farm in Kentucky, never recovering from a suspensory injury to his right front leg. And top handicap star Lost Code underwent arthroscopic knee surgery to remove these chips that, along with a severe bout with colic, would end his racing career. On July 20th, the Sportive Kings lost one of its true monarchs with the death at age 90 of John W. Galbraith, the only man in history to own and breed Kentucky Derby and English Derby winners.
Here's your invitation to join us at the new Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky, America's fastest growing racetrack. We've just completed our $9 million 2.5-year renovation that has turned Turfway Park into a vibrant, modern facility. In 1989, we have the richest purse structure in our history, highlighted by our $500,000 Jim Beam Stakes on April 1st, a major Kentucky Derby prep race. So come join us at the new Turfway Park, Florence, Kentucky. Come be part of the tradition of excellence at Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida. Frank's Farms makes available to the breeder with any budget the sire lines of Northern Dancer, Raisin Native, Leafard's Wish, Aladar, Sovereign Dancer, and Mr. Prospector. The Southland Division's 1,000-acre farm features a complete facility for breeding, boarding, breaking, and training. Be part of the tradition of one of America's leading thoroughbred owners, the multiple Eclipse Award-winning Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida.
Hull & Smith Horse Fans, a service for horsemen by horsemen. For over 2 decades, the people of Hull & Smith have set the standards in the business of transporting horses. Gene and Judy Hull head up a staff of full-time experienced professionals. We provide expert personal handling, superb accommodations, and the finest in safe, modern equipment. We ship your horses anytime, anywhere, safely and dependably. At Hull & Smith, it's our tradition and our commitment.
A dream is born. And with care and attention, discipline and freedom, the dream begins to come alive. Share the dream. Let thoroughbred racing come alive for you.
It's a showdown of Olympic champions. Gold medalist Jackie Joyner-Kersee leads the world's best athletes at the Mobil One Invitational. Sunday afternoon at 3 Eastern, live on ESPN.
July 30th, Monmouth Park. With Risen Star, the undisputed leader of the 3-year-old division, on the sidelines, the scramble was on for someone new to move to the head of the sophomore class. The strongest bids were put in by 49er and Seeking the Gold as they dueled in the Haskell Invitational.
And the battle on the front end has 49er at the rail, but on the outside, Seeking the Gold puts ahead in front, and here comes Private Terms. 3 of them across the track, and joining them, Private. It's 4 of them across the track. Now Seeking the Gold in front by a head. Along the inside, 49er. Private Terms in the middle of the track, and Primal, and down the stretch they come. Head-to-head, stride for stride. 49er on the rail. Seeking the Gold on the outside. 16th of a mile to go. Noses apart. 49er and Seeking the Gold. Wow! Oh, what a finish. But I believe it was 49er by a nose.
August is a special month in thoroughbred racing at 2 of America's most beautiful and historic racetracks. Del Mar in California, where the turf meets the surf. And in upstate New York, at America's oldest racetrack, Saratoga. On the first weekend of Saratoga's 121st season of racing, America's best older filly, undefeated Personal Ensign, went against 2 top older male handicap horses in Gulch and King Swan in the Whitney Handicap. In a thrilling stretch drive, Personal Ensign showed her class in holding off the champion sprinter Gulch to win by a length and a half, just 4/5 of a second off the stakes record over a sloppy racetrack. August 11th was the date of the Racing Hall of Fame inductions in Saratoga. Inducted in 1988, jockey Angel Cordero Jr. with over 6,000 career wins. The international trainer, Angel Penna. Thoroughbred champions, Majestic Prince. And the filly, Chris Everett. And from racing's past, the California champion runner and sire, Emperor of Norfolk. And a trainer of the late 1800s, Jacob Pincus. Perhaps a future Hall of Famer, 53-year-old West Virginia-based trainer Dale Baird became just the 2nd conditioner in the history of the sport to saddle 5,000 winners when he won at Mountaineer Park on August 5th. The Midsummer Derby, the $1 million Travers Stakes at Saratoga, and another classic battle between 49er and Seeking the Gold.
49er hanging tough. Here comes Seeking the Gold between horses. And on the outside, Brian's time. A 3-horse photo finish. Oh, wow, I believe on the inside, 49er.
On the same day, there was another $1 million purse up for the top grass horses in the Arlington Million, being run at Woodbine while the Chicago track was under construction. The field of 14 had combined earnings of more than $10 million. But it was a 41-1 long shot from France, Mill Native, who won out over the American gray horse, Equalize.
On the final weekend of August, the rivalry was renewed as Ali Sheba and Bet Twice met for the 6th time in Monmouth Park's Island Handicap.
And it's Bet Twice leading away by 1. Slew City, Slew second, Gulch is third. Here comes Ali Sheba on the outside fourth. They're in the stretch. Bet Twice has the lead by 2 lengths. On the far outside, here comes Ali Sheba. The rivalry continues, and down the stretch they come. Bet Twice on the inside. Ali Sheba on the outside with McCarron. Coming to the wire. Ali Sheba to the front, and to the front easily as McCarron guides him to a 1-length victory.
Ali Sheba's victory evened the rivalry at 3 wins apiece and moved the handsome colt ahead of Spendabuck into 2nd place on the all-time money won list. That same afternoon, Cutlass Reality left the West Coast to run in the Budweiser Hawthorne Gold Cup in Illinois. Crypto Clearance romped to a 10-length win. At Del Mar on the 28th, Champion Precisionist showed you can come back to the races as the 7-year-old won the Cabrillo Handicap, his first stakes win since the fall of 1986 before his 2-year retirement. The fall race campaign of 1988 is coming up next.
At Wimbledon Farm, our breeding shows with the classic winner Danzig Connection, winner of the historic Belmont Stakes. He won or placed in 16 of 17 starts, earning over $1 million on the track. Danzig Connection at Wimbledon Farm, Lexington, Kentucky.
During the golden age of Rome, Caesar treated his guests to magical evenings. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
Prestonwood Farm invites you to breed to speed. The Eclipse champion sprinter Groovy, stakes winner at 2, 3, and 4, earner of over $1.1 million. Track record setter at Belmont Park and Finger Lakes. Groovy at Prestonwood Farm, Versailles, Kentucky.
For more than 4 decades, the Keeneland Thoroughbred Sales have produced a parade of classic winners, including 39 American champions. Horses purchased at Keeneland have won all of the classic races worldwide and the richest prizes in thoroughbred racing. 1988 champions Winning Colors, Risen Star, and Ali Sheba all were bought at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, source of the classic horse.
There is a world-class thoroughbred facility nestled on 1,500 acres of rolling hills and lush meadows. A special place where excellence makes its home. Excellence in breeding, training, in facilities, and in people. This world-class thoroughbred facility is the Cardiff Stud Farms of California.
Fall racing started with a grand opening of racing's newest showplace, the Edward J. DeBartolo $94 million racetrack in Oklahoma City, Remington Park. It is the world's first track to use the revolutionary Equitrack as its main racing surface, and it proved itself on the second day. Horses and riders stayed clean through a driving rainstorm over a fast track. By the time the next race was run, the water had all but drained off the remarkable surface. In a preview of an even more dramatic confrontation to come in the Breeders' Cup, Personal Ensign defeated the Kentucky Derby winner Winning Colors in the Masquette at Belmont Park for her 11th straight win. The next weekend was the Woodward Handicap as Ali Sheba proved he could run and win in New York, setting a new track record in the process, 1:59.2 for the 1.25 miles in holding off 49er. Trainer John Veach had a big 2 days in September. He saddled Brian's Time to win the Grade 1 Pegasus Handicap on a Friday night at the Meadowlands. And the next afternoon, his Turf Star Sunshine Forever won the Grade 1 Man-O-War at Belmont Park. 2 Grade 1 wins in just over 17.5 hours. That Sunday, September 25th, the 5th stable traveled to Louisiana Downs, where Seeking the Gold held on to win that $1 million 3-year-old race, Super Derby 9. Racing lost another longtime friend in September with the death of Stuart Janney, the Maryland horseman who owned and bred the great filly Ruffian. The October highlights in thoroughbred racing last year included another impressive win for the 2-year-old Ogden Phipps-owned colt Easy Goer in the Grade 1 count. And then over a sloppy racetrack in New York, New England's favorite racehorse Wacoit stole the $1 million Jockey Club Gold Cup with a 15-length victory, his third win in a 1.5-mile race at Belmont Park. The weather improved some the next day as the Phipps stable's Mining made it a perfect 6 for 6, winning the Vosburg. While Sunshine Forever rolled towards the Breeders' Cup with an easy 4 3/4 length win in the Turf Classic. For his final prep for the Breeders' Cup Classic, Ali Sheba made his debut under the lights in the Meadowlands Cup.
The battle on the front end. Slew City Slew at the rail, and Ali Sheba on the outside. And down the stretch they come. Ali Sheba puts ahead in front. Chris McCarron aboard. Ali Sheba has the lead by a neck. Slew City Slew second. Here's the finish of the Meadowlands Cup. Ali Sheba by half a length.
The time, 1:58.4, represented the fastest 1.25 ever run in the Northeast as Ali Sheba moved over the $5.3 million mark in total earnings. And it was yet another big weekend for the Phipps stable in New York as their 2-year-old Easy Goer won the Champagne Stakes on Saturday. And the perfect filly Personal Ensign made it 12 for 12, winning the Beldame on Sunday. The final big turf tune-up before the Breeders' Cup was the newly renamed Budweiser International, part of the exciting new Turf Festival at Laurel Racecourse in Maryland. And Sunshine Forever put out an amazing effort in deep stretch.
Here comes Squill, finding room between horses, taking command, and Squill in front, representing France in front now by a length and a quarter. Frankly Perfect on the inside second, followed by Sunshine Forever. In deep stretch, 3 of them battle to the wire. Squill, Sunshine Forever coming back again, and Frankly Perfect getting the place spot. What a finish!
In New York, the jockeys were in the midst of a 13-day strike for higher fees for 2nd and 3rd place finishes and improved safety standards. While the big-name riders carried picket signs, substitute jock William Fox Jr. got them out on 49er to win the first Naira Mile. 2 legendary race riders made headlines as the 57-year-old Bill Shoemaker, the winningest rider of all time with more than 8,700 victories, announced that 1989 would be his final year of riding. And racing's top money-winning rider in history, 42-year-old Lafitte Pinkai Jr., came back from a serious summer spill at Del Mar to win his 7,000th race on November 9th at Hollywood Park. The fall season of racing at Belmont ended on a tragic note with the death of 43-year-old rider Mike Venezia. The popular jockey was on Mr. Walter Kay in the 5th race on Belmont's inner turf course on October 13th when the horse broke down and threw him into the path of another horse. He was killed instantly. The first death of a rider in the 83-year history of Belmont Park.
You know, Vern, for over 60 years, the Shriners Hospitals have helped or cured over 250,000 crippled children. And the Shriners Hospitals provide this care free for children who cannot afford the care they need. But they need your support and involvement, Vern. Why, I'm so involved with the Shriners. One day, they may make me the grand, exalted, high Putin boot.
Defense counsel, please approach the bench. Mr. Mason, am I to understand that you've never lost a case?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And in your estimation, is that why people love to watch your show?
Objection.
Oh, Mr. Berger, I suppose you think they watch just because of you.
We have demonstrated 2 strong motivations.
That's right. 1, to watch Mr. Mason solve the unsolvable, and 2, to watch him outwit you. Objection sustained.
Time is blowing away the competition. Showtime's box office blowout includes hits like Good Morning Vietnam, Throw Mama from the Train. You won't see those on HBO. Showtime exclusives. Here you see them, there you don't.
It's the dawn of a new day. The business battles are about to resume.
Arm yourself with today's Wall Street Journal. Like you, we attack at dawn.
Call 800-372-3000 for this special Journal introductory offer. 12 weeks for just $29.75 with a money-back guarantee. 12 weeks, $29.75. Call 800-372-3000 now for the Wall Street Journal.
Seton Hall has arrived. They'll face Syracuse in a Big East battle. Then Ohio State takes on Purdue, and Cal Santa Barbara faces UNLV. Big Monday, live on ESPN.
The best of the best met on the first Saturday in November at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky for Breeders' Cup 5. 7 races worth $10 million. The first 2 races were swept by trainer Dwayne Lucas and jockey Angel Cordero Jr. as Gulch won the sprint. And in the juvenile fillies, it was Open Mind, one of 3 in the race owned by Eugene V. Klein, and all part of a 5-filly entry by Team Lucas. Next came the race that was picked as the race of the year in thoroughbred racing, the Breeders' Cup Distaff, as Personal Ensign made her bid to become the first major American racehorse in 80 years to finish her career undefeated. Jockey Randy Romero and trainer Shug McGahee talked about her incredible come-from-behind victory.
Well, she come away from there decent, and she wasn't handling the track that perfect, and I let her get her feet underneath her. And eventually she started picking them up, and I didn't get discouraged on her or anything. And toward the end of it, when I got to the 70-yard pole, I never could have got the job done because I never give up on her, and I just kept riding her, and she's a champion.
I thought she was beat, and I probably didn't think she was, had a chance to win until maybe 5 or 6 jumps for the wire. But I think a race like that today, just shows what kind of filly she is.
In the mile, the French filly Mies became the first repeat winner in the Breeders' Cup Series. In the juvenile, it was Klein and Lucas again as they upset the heavy favorite Easy Goer to win with Is It True. In the $2 million turf race, the long shot Great Communicator proved his gameness in the stretch as he held off the favorites Sunshine Forever and European star Indian Skimmer for the upset victory. And now, it was time for the richest race in the world, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. As night fell at Churchill Downs, all eyes were on Ali Sheba as he attempted to become racing's richest money winner in history. Bruce Casella filed this report on the big race.
Let's go, John. Big boy.
It was time to race, and the 4-year-old son of Aladar knew it. Time for a walk to history. Under the distant twin spires, the scene became intense. Under darkened skies, Ali Sheba's owners looked on, trying to see perhaps his final race.
Come on with him, Chris. What do you think? Dropping back a little bit. Dropping back. 47 and 4. Come on with him, Chris.
A fitting climax to a year of championship moments and memories in thoroughbred racing. And when we return, we'll introduce the winners of racing's highest honor, the Eclipse Awards, right after this.
Like a new day, it begins with a hope for greatness, a chance to fulfill a dream.
Swale leads to the wire.
To join other champions.
Ruffian in front by 2.
Giving us the excitement only a thoroughbred race can bring.
Secretariat is moving like a tremendous machine.
Soon their time will come, for they are the promise of tomorrow. Claiborne Farm.
This is the pure and natural beer.
It's brewed from the choicest natural ingredients. It's Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. And best of all, it's for you.
You got the taste, this bug's for you.
Gate Dancer at Good Chance Farm, Bellevue, Florida. The first of the Northern Dancer line to win a Triple Crown race when he set a track record in the 1984 Preakness. The same year he won the Grade 1 Super Derby, again in track record time. Gate Dancer, one of the sport's all-time leading money winners, won or placed in 12 of 15 Grade 1 races and missed winning the first 2 Breeders' Cup Classics by just 2 heads. Breed to a proven winner, the great Gate Dancer at Good Chance Farm, Bellevue, Florida.
Welcome back to our Eclipse Cinema here at the Century Plaza Hotel in Los Angeles. And now we hand out the big awards for the horses and the horsemen from 1988. Let's tell you first who votes on the Eclipse Award. There are 3 groups. It's the National Turf Riders Association, the Thoroughbred Racing Association, and the experts of the Daily Racing Form. They select the champions we're crowning here tonight. And nobody won more Eclipse Awards than the Phipps stable. 5 of them. Owner of the Year, Breeder of the Year, Ogden Phipps. The Trainer of the Year, Shug McGahee. The Older Mare of the Year, Personal Ensign, the undefeated one. And the 2-year-old Colt of the Year, Easy Goer. Let's go now to Bruce Casella with Shug McGahee and the Phipps stable.
Well, of course, we're set up to try to, develop nice horses. And through the nice horses, we hope to win stake races. And if they win stake races, hopefully down the line that, a championship award will come their way. And Mr. Phipps and myself, neither one of them would have gotten the honors that we've gotten without the horses. So, I'm tickled to death for Personal Ensign and Easy Goer. I'm tickled to death for Mr. Phipps, and through a little bit of that, then something dropped my way. So, it's a big honor for horses, Mr. Phipps, and for myself.
Shug McGahee, winner of 3 Eclipse Awards himself. Let's go now to Tom Dawson, who's with someone who's no stranger to Eclipse Awards.
Well, one of the gentlemen that's very used to carrying off hardware here at the Eclipse Awards is Gene Klein. This year, champion 3-year-old filly Winning Colors, champion 2-year-old filly Open Mind. Just seems to keep getting better.
Well, we try hard. We're fighting for it. We're very proud to have won as many Eclipse Awards as we have, and we just kind of hope to do better in the future.
Trainer Wayne Lucas is no stranger to Eclipse Awards. Wayne, did you decide to take a break this year and not win one, or what?
No, not really. I think it was a real good year for us, but it was an awful good year for Shug also. And I thought he was very deserving. And I said to a sports writer the other day, if I'd had a vote, I think I'd have voted for McGahee also. So we've been very fortunate. We ended up with a good year and are going to get 3 of the statues tonight, and with Gulch and Open Mind and Winning Colors. So we're just thrilled and part of it to be here, and it's just a great night.
Continuing now, our salute of the 1988 Eclipse Award-winning thoroughbreds. The outstanding turf filly, Miesk. The French filly bred in Kentucky, and the only repeat champion of 1988, won her 2nd Breeders' Cup Mile in a row, and was retired with 12 wins in 16 starts, earnings just under $2 million. The outstanding male turf performer, Sunshine Forever, owned and bred by Darby Dan Farm, trained by John Veach. Didn't break his maiden until late April, but then rolled to Grade 1 wins in the Manowar, the Turf Classic, and the Budweiser International. Accepting for Darby Dan Farm, Dan Galbraith took a moment to remember his father.
He was well enough in late summer to realize that this colt had some real ability. And so I accept this for all of those who've made it possible, but particularly for my dad, and this one's for him. Thank you all very much.
Gulch was named the outstanding sprinter with 3 Grade 1 wins for owner Peter Brandt and trainer D. Wayne Lucas, including the Breeders' Cup Sprint. The outstanding steeplechase horse, the Eclipse Award for 1988, went to Jimmy Lorenzo. The 6-year-old hurdler won all 3 American starts for owner Bertram Firestone and trainer Jonathan Shepard, including the Colonial Cup and the Breeders' Cup Steeplechase. And the outstanding 3-year-old colt, Risen Star, winner of 2 legs of the Triple Crown and the $1 million Triple Crown bonus.
Chris, I'm standing here with the co-owner of Risen Star, Ronnie Lamarck. And Ronnie, you must have had a tremendous time this year. You weren't exactly a silent partner.
No, God gave me some great vocal cords, and Risen Star made them come out, and I had a great time of writing and doing some lyrics for Star and the Triple Crown races. Of course, you know, he won 2 of those 3 races. Risen Star is a super horse, and I'm glad I could just be involved in racing and doing something for a great sport that I think so many people should get more involved in.
Ronnie, this wasn't just an ordinary campaign. This was almost like a political campaign with the buttons and billboards and those kind of things.
Well, you know, you have to support who you love, and Risen Star supported me. Why shouldn't I be able to support him? I do advertising quite well. I believe in what I do, and that's how it is. What you see is what you get, and that's what you have with Risen Star. What you've seen is what you got, and we did it.
Thanks a lot, Ronnie. Best of luck. And as we said, Ronnie Lamarck not only did it with words, but he did it with a song.
Way down yonder in New Orleans, Risen Star is the king of kings. Star's the talk of the town there. Oh, you know.
In the glory days of Rome, Caesar entertained his guests with the most spectacular sporting events in all the empire. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
Prestonwood Farm invites you to breed to speed. The Eclipse champion sprinter Groovy, stakes winner at 2, 3, and 4, earner of over $1.1 million. Track record setter at Belmont Park and Finger Lakes. Groovy at Prestonwood Farm, Versailles, Kentucky.
What's that? He's got our flashlights. Over there.
Good monkey. But Ed said Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
So hard to get good help.
Here's your invitation to join us at the new Turfway Park in Florence, Kentucky, America's fastest-growing racetrack. We've just completed our $9 million, 2.5-year renovation that has turned Turfway Park into a vibrant, modern facility. In 1989, we have the richest purse structure in our history, highlighted by our $500,000 Jim Beam Stakes on April 1st, a major Kentucky Derby prep race. So come join us at the new Turfway Park, Florence, Kentucky.
One of the recent stars of the American turf, Al Mamoon, course record setter at Hollywood Park in the Inglewood. He won or placed in 14 graded stakes on turf and dirt. Al Mamoon, standing at the Cardiff Stud Farms of California.
Now to recognize the best of the world's greatest athletes, the jockeys. The Eclipse Award for the year's outstanding jockey went to Jose Santos, the national leader in money earned for the 3rd consecutive year. The 27-year-old native of Chile set a new all-time earnings record of over $14.8 million. And Steve Kapanis, a 22-year-old New Jersey native, was the nation's outstanding apprentice jockey. He rode his first winner on December 27, 1987, and by the end of 1988 had won over 300 races, finishing among the leaders at Garden State Park and Philadelphia Park.
First of all,
Well, the most coveted award in thoroughbred racing and the climax of the evening's awards ceremony is the Golden Eclipse for Horse of the Year. 1988 featured the championship duel between the undefeated filly Personal Ensign and racing's all-time leading money winner, Ali Sheba. For his year-long coast-to-coast campaign that included 6 Grade 1 victories, capped by the Breeders' Cup Classic, the choice was Ali Sheba, who has been recognized as America's horse.
My heart is very full tonight. I appreciate this. I appreciate the people who voted for Ali Sheba and all of his fans everywhere. Thank you very much.
We hope you've enjoyed your visit to the Eclipse Cinema here in Los Angeles, where we've crowned the champions of 1988. Well, 1989, we're ready to start our Budweiser Racing Across America series tomorrow with live coverage of the Strobe Stakes, the coming out for the 4-year-olds, 7:30 to 8 Eastern, live from Santa Anita Park. Again, hope you enjoyed your evening with the Eclipse stars of 1988. So long, everyone, from the Century Plaza Hotel in Los Angeles. The Eclipse Awards special from Los Angeles has been brought to you by Budweiser Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.